Here we are, Expedition 3, 23 July 2008. This is part 2 that is remastered. The team finds where the rumble took place. We don't know whether it was a mock fight, training for young Bigfoot, or possibly a dispute over territory. What we found was lots and lots of branches that were broken off and laying on the forest floor. The pine needles had been pushed up like there was a struggle, and it looked like somebody had a big fight there. Some of the areas, the pine needles were pushed completely back to where there was bare dirt showing, but there were no tracks that we could actually take prints of. In several places we found where trees had been twisted off and thrown on the ground. We ran into two of them right here. They've been snapped off pretty clean. They're about 3 inches in diameter, and that takes an awful lot of power for an animal to break the limbs off like this. Now, we did look around to make sure that this was not off of one of the bigger trees, just a tree branch or something like that, but it's not. It was actually a limb or a tree that was broken off, and the stump was a good 30-40 yards away. One of the interesting things that we found here at the battle zone was the bones. We found several piles of turkey bones. This is just one of them. It looks like they've been picked pretty clean. We looked at the bones and it didn't look like they were chewed. Later that morning we had our first sighting as we were driving down an old rut road. Off to the side we saw a Bigfoot stand up out of a cave, and it took off running. We weren't able to capture it on camera because at the moment we were driving, and we had a hard time getting our old-fashioned cameras to function. Preston took off and went down to the cave, and he looked around a bit. And one of the first things that he noticed was there were 2 other entrances to this cave. Now, we don't know if the Bigfoot basically took off in our sight so that he could cover the other members of the clan exiting out of the other 2 exits. The next thing that Preston noticed that was inside the cave, it was full of pine needles. The entire floor had pine needles and small twigs on it. How did those pine needles get in there? And yes, there were footprints where the animals had actually pushed against the pine needles to either get up or run out or